way. You keep on blessing me every day. Fight on my battle. You say today. Yeah. That's why we give you all the glory. Let's go. Can't nobody do me like you, Jesus. Can't nobody do me like you, Jesus. Can't nobody do me like the Lord, yeah. Can't nobody do me like you, Jesus. I give you glory, yeah. I give you glory, yeah. I give you glory, yeah. I give you glory, I give you glory, yeah. I give you glory, I give you glory. I give you glory, I give you glory, yeah. I give you glory, I give you glory. I give you glory, I give you glory. It's already mine. Never alone. I can go to the throne. He's right beside me. Hold my hand in the valley. Lost but now he found me. I don't know where I would be. Don't know who I would be. Came through when I need him. He's a rider. All my haters, you know he be fighting. I never had no one to stick beside me. And when it's cold, I know he got that fire. You made a way. Out of no way. You keep on blessing me every day. Fight on my battle. You say today. Yeah. That's why we give you all the glory. Let's go. Can't nobody do me like you, Jesus.
Guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is your girl, Mimi Wilson from BU Podcast. And I have my guest that came back once again, none other than Ryan and Terrell. And we have another guest that will be coming on. Y'all, I had to put on my glasses because your girl can't see. But listen, guys, so a few weeks ago, we came live and we were talking about love me not. And we heard straight from the men talking about us women, y'all. And so I wanted to bring them back because it was like, bring it back by popular demand. They were so just not even just the men, the women. And so I had to bring these young men back. We are missing a couple of them. They were busy taking care of their personal business, and I respect that. But guys, how y'all been doing since the last time I saw you?
I know on my end, I've been doing pretty fantastic. I'm blessed, so all is well.
Yeah, same here. Obviously, since we had a troubling time about a week ago or so, and that's probably why we didn't come on last week, dealing with
Right.
all issues. So before we start, if you don't, thank you, we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we had death in our family, one of our close cousins, and also Terrell's god sister. She passed away, and that hit real hard for us. And so we canceled on going live on last week, but we are now here again because again I kept getting DMs in my inbox and asking the question, hey, when are y'all gonna do part two? So now here we are doing part two. And I had some ladies sitting in my chair and they were just asking questions and was like, how did y'all come up with the questions? I said, we just flow freely because these are issues that really we are dealing with. I know me personally, I'll be 52 this year. Ryan, how old are you? Or how old will you be?
I'm 36 now. I'll be 37 in October.
And look, I want to say facts because that's my brother, y'all. So Terrell, how old you be?
I'm 18 today, and I'll be 18 tomorrow.
Boy, the lies you tell.
39. I'll be 40 next month.
39. Okay. So all of us are fully grown. How many married? I'm not married.
It's me.
Ryan married.
Yeah.
No longer married, but yeah.
No longer married, divorced. So the question was asked by me. You talking about relationships, but do you desire to be married? So I'm going to ask the question to you, Terrell, before I answer that question. Do you desire to be married again?
Desire it. I'm better equipped for it now. I'll try to make my story relatively short. A lot of people that do know me know when I got married, I haven't even graduated high school at the time. So at that age, you really don't know the qualifications of being a husband, let alone the upbringing and different examples that you have around you, which we didn't have too many, I would say.
Right.
So I think this, I don't rule it out. I do look forward to it because I know that I can be a much better husband from my past experiences, and I'm well equipped to be the husband I need to be versus what I was in my prior marriage. Yeah.
Right, right. How long have you been married, Ryan?
I'm going on close to 5 years now.
Close to 5 years. Okay. I was married twice and divorced twice. Um, and I don't put blame all on them. I know we as women, we do that. People do that in general. I'm not just gonna say women. People do that in general. And I think that I was more so, how can I say, excited about the ideal of marriage and not really understanding what it takes to be married. I thought, once I gave my life to the Lord, okay, this is what I need to do, and this the right thing to do. But I really wasn't equipped because, again, like Terrell said, we never really had the role models of what marriage was. And we gonna keep it real, right? We could talk. Coming from dysfunctional backgrounds, it's like we only saw what we saw on TV and thought that that's what it was supposed to be, with the picket fence and all of that kind of stuff. But reality set in and it wasn't so. And so two words that was popped up at me, and it was dating and courting. When you hear those two words, because see, courting back in the days used to be some old school word, and we thought it was dating, but I just recently learned that those are two different definitions. So when you hear the word courting and dating, what do you think of?
Before, I'm sorry, that's still new to me. I never heard that. I never heard that term before.
Really?
I've never heard that.
Yeah, well, I guess when I grew, see, I'm in a different era than y'all. So when I was growing up, they would always say, "Oh, they courting," right? And I would be like, "Man, what the heck is courting?" And then I just recently started hearing it again, with me studying and things on relationships and all of this kind of stuff. And I was like, "No, we dating." No, they was like, dating and courting is two different things. So I looked it up to make sure that I was saying it correctly. Okay, so dating is going out with someone in whom is romantically or sexually interested in. Courting is being involved romantically, typically with the intentions of marrying.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So I was like, okay, a lot of us been dating.
Right.
Yeah.
We haven't been courting.
Yeah.
And so it made me start looking at things different when it comes to people coming at me or trying to pursue me. Because my thing is, what's your intentions?
Right.
If your intentions is not making me a wife, then you need to go to the left, because at this age and who I am in God, I ain't trying to be nobody boo, bae, girlfriend, I ain't trying to do none of that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So that's where I want to come at y'all. As far as Ryan, I know you married now, but in the beginning, would you say you were dating or courting?
I'm gonna keep it real. I was doing a little. I want to say I was doing a mixture of both. I probably should have dated a little bit more versus courting, because at the time is just because of course when you're dating, you're pretty much collecting data. You're getting information about this person. You're trying to figure out, all right, do I want to take this seriously? Versus when you're courting, you already have that intent straight off the bat that you are going this for the home run. You're looking to take this and make this person your wife, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's also as time goes along, and even now, I find that probably should have not saying anything is wrong or anything like that, but probably should have taken the time to date just a little bit more, so that some of the complications that you do run into whenever you take it to that next level, you probably would have known how to avoid some of that a little bit, or you would get more information about this person to
Right.
help you, as you go through this transition. So that part, I would say I probably would have changed a little bit, I would have tweaked it a little bit, but again, though, all in all, I did go in with the intention of courting this woman. I knew her from my past, and
Right.
off the back, I was like, you know what? I know that she's a good woman, and my intention was to go down the line, and I knew I was going to marry her. So I did go in straight off the bat with the courting attitude and the courting mentality.
Hey, sis, can I call you sis or Mimi? I'm just curious.
Either one. We real. BU is BU. BU podcast. It's about being real.
On a little sarcasm in there. So let me ask you a question. Is that because after and I just learned the definition and the term today. Is that somewhat of a, for lack of a better term, a promotion? Is courting a promotion from dating? Like you start off when you dating someone, it's like we don't have exclusivity titles. We don't have titles to each other. It's just, hey, we're getting to know each other.
Right.
You
And
might
kind of building something, building a quote unquote friendship to see if we're compatible.
Right.
Okay. So it sounds like it's a progression thing. Like, hey, we're dating for X amount of time, and now you at a point where, hey, I see potential in this person, she see potential in me. Now is it courting?
It's courting. It's like how you say court, but courting, ing.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You're right on that. You're right on that, Terrell. I wanted to say fast too, but you're right on that.
No, we could listen. We talking real, but you know what? I think a lot of times people stick at the level of dating.
Right.
Like a lot of times the selfishness in people, because a lot of stuff that they still wrestling with, dealing with, or they want to sow their wild oats, because women and men do it. I find now. You know, it used to be a point in time you see more men doing it more so than women, but now it's like they playing tag team to see who can run the race faster and better. And so with me, I think you do go on dates, and I've dated, but then I guess where I'm at right now, my boundaries and what I want, what I expect, and I give what I expect. I'm not willing to prolong the dating if I don't see this person as husband material, if you feel me.
Yeah.
Now, okay, do you also think what attributes to that is the age demographic? Do you think
I wouldn't even say so, bro. I wouldn't even, you know what? Because in my age bracket, I've learned that a lot of times age isn't it. People always want to say, oh, when you get older, this, I found that guys that's older than y'all are more mature than them.
Okay.
I find that.
I can throw this in there because I admit this will probably make a little bit more sense to you, Fats. So let's say how if you're talking to somebody, you're talking to a girl, as you're talking to her, we say talking, we don't really say dating, right? So you say, all right, I'm talking to her. You talking to her, everything is good, you vibing.
Right.
She probably is gonna hit you with a question of, so what are we? You know what I mean? What are we at this point? And when she
that's the common question. That's the common question for women.
Right.
That's the label. That's the label.
At that point, when you be like, okay, I guess now we're seeing each other. We're going together, rather. At that point, you're courting. So you went from dating, from when you talking, to now you're courting, because now you're in a relationship with her, and you're in a relationship, and the intention of a relationship is, it shouldn't ever be that we're in a relationship looking to break up. We're still looking for other options. The point of being in a relationship should be that you're looking to take this to the next level. You see building
should be because I've seen people where they've been dating quote unquote, for 5, 6, 7. I'm asking how long does it take you to realize that this is the person I want to be with? I personally don't feel like it should take a person, or if you know, like saying that you're really in tune with yourself, knowing what you want. It shouldn't take a person no year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. To me, that's like you got a layaway
Before you get married, you mean?
before you really want to say, okay, this is the person that I want to marry. Or you've been engaged for 10 years?
Nah,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
you engaged
I,
10 years. You
the
engaged.
engagement thing for 10 years, I can understand where you're coming from with that. I think in actuality, though, ooh, it can take 3 to 5 before I think
I
a
mean,
man,
but 10.
because three, to me, 3, you're still honeymooning a little bit. You know, everything's still fresh. Fourth year, you might start see a little turbulence in the flight, and it's like, man, hold on, hold on now, you know. So we after that from that 5 to 10, sis, I give it that window somewhere before the man. Ryan, correct me, or you can disagree. 5 to 10 is that window where the man decides, and they know this is this. Now, when they make that move, or when they decide to make that official promotion or next step,
So are you saying for you, or are you speaking for all men?
you know,
Because now
uh-huh.
I've heard that men know, they know that they know, like they can get with a woman, they can date her, and because she that I want to call it loving hip hop type chick, and they want to have her as arm candy, but that woman that they really know without a shadow of a doubt is, you know what, this is the woman that I want to marry, or this is the woman I want to have my kids, or this is the woman that I want to grow with. Are you saying that's for you, or are you saying that's for all men?
I would say that I guess I would have to speak on a personal level. Men don't know what they want out the gate. I don't care what no man in the chat watching. They don't know that they know what they see on the outer, and they can say that's what I want. But I
I
can't.
think it's more of an experience. I think it's not even an age thing. I think it's more of an experience thing, because when you've been in bad relationships, to me personally,
Yeah,
I've been in two marriages that was not good.
okay.
It was picture perfect on the outside, and people thought it was all together because I wasn't one to be running out telling my business, but it was hell living in the house with that situation, because God never ordained that. I was basically married by paper. I was married off of the ideal of being married because that was the dream, and all of that kind of stuff. But I think because of what I've experienced in my past, it has made me to know what I want and what I don't want. And I
Absolutely.
think that makes a big difference in making that decision, because when somebody, how can I say, show you certain things that you're familiar with, you like, yo, this too familiar. I done seen this. You know what I'm saying? And you will know whether you want to go long term with that. Because I don't see dating a person all of these years, and then I don't wasted 5 years, especially at my age. Wasted all of these years like I did with the first marriage. I was married 13, and then the second one I was married 5 years, but with them 6. That's almost 20 some odd years of my life that I basically put on hold, and that other people reap benefits from. So now with me, I did have a guard up, but I had to pray about that for God to take that guard down, that I would be more open, because I was holding myself in bondage. I was
Do
like,
you
nope, not, nah.
do
And
you think?
so I'm,
I,
huh?
I, I'm sorry. I feel like
No,
we.
no, go ahead, talk.
Do you think you reaped a benefit of any kind out of those 2 marriages?
Wisdom,
I was gonna say, because I could tell you did for sure.
wisdom.
And I,
That's why I say, you know what, the enemy meant for my bad, to break me down, tear me down, and all of that. And people would say, you're not bitter. No, I'm not bitter, because guess what? I took full responsibilities in operating in disobedience. So I'm not putting the blame on them, because they were doing what they were supposed to do. They were on assignment. They did it. They
got you.
accomplished it. But what I got out of it was wisdom, and really knowing who I was, my worth,
There
and
you
what I
go.
want and what I don't want. So
There
that's
you
the
go.
wisdom that I got from it. Ryan, what you have to say?
Um, on that topic, first I would just want to say I think it really depends on the stage that the man is in at that point in time to answer that question, to say whether it's gonna take 5 to 10 years, whether that person decides, I see this, because they have to, I feel like most men do have to go through they have to go through something. Most women, the women dictate whether it's going to go, whether it's actually going to cross that physical line,
Right.
and the man is actually going to be in the dictator seat whether or not I want to take this person to be my wife forever. So he's thinking that in his head, but again, it takes the person has to go through a certain, I want to say, go through certain things in life, and not only that, but most men, I'm not talking about boys, I'm talking about men at the moment. Most men are going to come in a situation knowing that I actually see this person to potentially being my wife, based off of, can I care for her, meaning that, not only
Mhm.
that, but can I care for her, but also can I be there in every single aspect, meaning
Right.
I be faithful at this point in time? Can I see myself being faithful? Can I take care of her? Meaning, can I be a provider? Because every male
Right.
is every man is gonna think about, to a degree, can I be a provider for this woman? If we have a child, can I take care of this woman and this child? You're not coming in there thinking like, oh, I'm trying to go 50-50, or I'm trying to get her to take care of me. To me, that's more of a childish mentality. You know,
You just said a key word, Ryan. You really did. This two words, that another two words that came up was provider
right,
and sponsor.
right,
Now, that's a new word that I just, because I'm old school. And I was like, sponsor. And I'm thinking like how when we host something and you get people to sponsor or whatever. But no, with women now, that's why I say women taking on a whole new identity when it comes to certain things. And me and my daughter was just talking about this as well, that there is a difference between
Uh oh. Hey, now we lost you. We lost you, sis. Don't have me take over the show. Sis,
I
we
don't know
lost.
what's going on with the internet. And that's somebody that basically is how when I looked it up, a sponsor is provides funds for a project activity or a person that's carrying it out. Meaning, I need my hair done. I need a sponsor. I need this bill paid. I need a sponsor, right? And so I'm looking like, what? So, but a provider is totally different. And me and my daughter was talking about that some women are looking strictly for sponsors. They want somebody to buy the purses, the shoes, and all of this kind of stuff. Where me, and I'm talking about mature women, you want a provider.
right,
Because if I got a man that is making sure that my bills are paid, and I'm talking about my mate, I ain't talking about no outside people,
right,
that's making sure, then guess what? He loosening up my money that I can buy my own purse.
right,
Cause he making sure I got a roof over my head. He making sure that food in the house. He making sure that the gas tank is filled up. He's making sure all of those things. And then in how can I say, in response to that, that's when you go to treating that man like that king that he's so to be deserved of. But you got so many people that's looking at these reality shows wanting to live these fake fraudulent life, and that ain't real. That's not real life stuff to me.
Right.
100%.
So I'm like, you can have your sponsors. I want a provider.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, go ahead,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah. Real quick point. And I just kind of want to. You made really good points in terms of providers versus sponsors. But in that, you also, from a male's perspective, you don't want to get caught up in being just a provider as well. And I'm talking from a marriage standpoint. The reason I say that is because I can speak from personal experience. I always thought when I got married at 18 years old that for the duration of the 17 of my marriage that I was a good husband because I was a good provider. In actuality, I'm not saying I was a bad husband, but I know that wasn't all it took to be the ideal husband. So even though you can be very good at being a provider, but you can still not be that other person need as a man, as a companion, and things of that nature.
Facts.
Bingo, bingo. But you just hitting on it before I could, finish it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When we were talking about providers, right? Me and my daughter was talking about this and some other ladies. When we're talking about that support, that's a provider for me.
Mhm.
Okay.
Me, I work hard and I make decent, right? I had the cars. I had the big diamond ring. They would buy, yeah, I had that.
You got the
You
money.
facts, I had that, right? But I was alone. I was lonely. I was disrespected. I didn't have the lawyer. So when I say provided, he's providing more than the bills. Yes. See, I never had a complete provider because guess what? We were matching. You pay this, I pay this. You pay
Right.
this, I pay this, right? So when I say that, I'm saying that from a level of I hear women complaining about the husband that make sure that the bills are taken care of, but it's the little things for me.
Right.
When a man has taken care of all the bills, he may not have all the extra finances to buy the purse.
Yeah.
But if a man took and packed up a picnic and I'm just being real, took and decorated a piece of paper and made a card for me, took me to a beach, a park, and sat down and we spent intimate time with each other, that goes deeper than a Coach bag because it's going to get outdated. But
Yeah.
just that memory for
Right.
that
Right.
man to take out, now what he just did was provide safety and security for me. So when I say I'd rather have a provider, when I say all the way around, yes, sometimes he might be able to buy this, but that's not key for me because guess what? I got so much stuff, bruh, in this back room that I just be giving stuff away. So
Right.
that stuff can't hold me at night. That stuff can't hug me and say, I got you at
Yeah.
the end of the day. That
For sure.
stuff, it wear and tear. It
Yeah.
dry rot.
Right. Right. Right.
Go ahead, Ryan.
So, I mean, I'm glad you said that because that's 100% true. A lot of people hear provider and they hear the first thing flash in their mind is money.
Financial. Right.
How can you
Right,
provide for me? How can you give me? Give. But it's
right,
not about that. It's not about a financial exchange. It's all about, when I say provider, I'm talking about how can I be mentally there for any event because what I'm learning and what I have learned is that you go through different stages. Um, and there's gonna be a part where what if your wife becomes depressed, you know, and or is stressed out but don't even know how to communicate it to you. Um, how can you provide for her at that point? It's nothing in the world that you can buy her to get her to overcome that. You have to then know how
right,
to be patient, know how to tone it down. Now you can't be aggressive, but sometimes it's gonna be points where you're not saying nothing at all, but you just need to actually just sit there. You just need to be there. She needs to feel that you are there for her. You know,
right.
that's a part of providing. That's a part of showing like no matter what, I'm here. And I think people forget about those things. People say it's small, but it's actually pretty major. We
It's
live
major.
now where it's so easy to discard um, the natural things that we need in life. I heard something not too long ago, the difference between partnership and companionship. And I remember for so long I was saying, I want a partnership, I want a partnership. But a partnership, what really is a partnership, if you can't look at this person as your companion, on the times where you really need somebody to talk to confide in, and, let stuff off your chest. You can't get that out of a partnership. A partnership is more so is close to a transactional exchange versus
50-50.
is completely different. I can
Yeah.
be with you. You're my friend at the end of the day. We have this relationship where I can tell you things that I won't feel comfortable telling anybody else. I
Right.
actual comfortability with being vulnerable around you. So and your partner should your wife should feel the same way. They should be able to feel comfortable enough to say, you know what, I feel I want to be vulnerable with you. Because if you deliver just being a provider financially and doing all those things, what you will end up finding is that they'll end up going somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? They'll end up finding it somewhere else. And it doesn't mean that they gotta be, something whatever, but it's just they'll confide into somebody else, and the stuff that you are trying to get from out of them, you feel that void, like something is missing. I'm trying to talk to you, I'm trying to get you to open up to me. They don't feel comfortable with that, feel comfortable like that with you, because
Well,
you are pushing them away through you being guarded, and feel like I'm checking all the boxes because I'm paying the bills. Every time something comes up, I'm buying you this, I'm buying you that. Again,
right.
that's what you expect. It's so many levels to it when you're talking about providing.
And sis, 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds.
No,
Um,
go ahead.
yeah, because Ryan long-winded sometimes. You got to stop.
You already know I am.
I already know, right? But I want to say this though. We appreciate you taking the time, because one thing that you're doing is enlightening a lot of young ladies, and it's very informative of some of the information that collectively that we're trying to give. And the reason I say that is because of this. There's probably, I don't have data or anything, but a general consistency of, if a single Terrell went out to a club and I met a young lady, and she asked me, hey, what can you provide me with? And I say to her, my rebuttal is, well, what do you mean by provide? Probably 90% sure the next statement out of her mouth is going to have something to do with finances.
100%.
But if I answer directly and say, well, I can provide you moral support, I can provide you emotional stability, I can provide spiritual, or anything outside of finances, they might frown their nose for some odd reason, because that's not their definition of providing. So I'm glad that you bringing this to the light to let young ladies know that might be watching, that provider it does not just mean financial obligations or financial or means of finances or whatnot. So I just wanted to thank you for taking that opportunity, taking this platform to educate.
And then that's the thing, that's when you know that definitely is not the person for you. Because at the end of the day, I have somebody says that emotional and the mental and emotional part is very important. And Dee Dee from Rochester, New York, Shanye says yes, and it's the truth. It's the truth. A lot of times we as women, we go into relationships looking for that, looking for that. And my thing is, at the end of the day, the very thing that you're looking for, you should already possess.
Ooh.
And I'm just being real. We're gonna be real today. The very thing, I can't ask you for something I'm not willing to give, or I don't have to give.
Yeah.
So in order for you to want to build this type of a relationship, you can't expect a man, or a man can expect a woman to come in with a 700 credit score when you ain't there. You feel me? You ain't
Can't.
even got the mentality to say you want to come to this person and say, and I'm talking about a woman right now because I'm a woman. You want to come to this man and say, what are you bringing to the table? My thing is, okay, but is your table set?
Right.
Are you equipped? Are you financially stable? Because you should want to go in that man's life being a liability, but you want to be an asset because you are there to add. You are there to help. You are there to assist, because that really is the role of a woman.
Yeah. 100%.
Not to be a mother, not to be a build-a-bear. It's not about that. And even with that concept, we got to learn to talk to each other. We got to learn to respect each other. We got to learn to listen, because not jumping in like a how can I say, double dutch. I'm waiting to respond, but not really to take in what you're saying, and know that your feelings are valid, because they're why? Your feelings.
Right.
And we come from a dysfunctional background in our community, everything that we've ever been told or watched has always been the man and the woman going against each other. And can I get even more deeper than that? The black man and the black woman going against each other. And then we produce these little dysfunctional children.
It should always be. It should. I feel like it should always be an incentive situation. It shouldn't ever be just like what do you bring to the table, and most of the time a woman is probably gonna say something. It's gonna say something. They'll probably say something wild. That has nothing to do with if we fall on hard times. First off, if we shouldn't even fall on hard times because if you're saying that if I'm coming in, I'm saying I'll be a provider to the extent of what the most responses we hear, which is finances. So if it should be that, then you should be able to at least make sure that the finances will stay good, meaning that you making sure the books is good or something. You're adding something along to it so that we don't ever fall short. Because
teamwork make the dream work.
Exactly.
Teamwork make the dream work. I can't be making the money and you steady spending the money. No, there's got to be a place where there's got to be balance. Exactly. And I tell anybody, if you're not stable, if you're not equally yoked, then guess what? It's off balance. If it's off balance, it's not stable. If it's not stable, it's not going to stand the last. The Bible said that a house that's divided, it cannot stand. So if we don't believe nothing else or trust nothing else, you got to definitely trust the word of God because it don't shake and waver. It is what it is. And that when you were saying about he got to trust you or the woman got to be able to trust that man, that's a big factor that I'm finding that I've heard somebody say, I don't trust nobody. Then guess what? You might wind up by yourself because you got to trust somebody. You can't be with a person that you don't trust. Because then if you don't trust that person, you question everything. Or if you trust that person and they don't trust you, that's an issue. Because now what they're doing is they're contaminating their new relationship with all the past pain of what somebody did. And my thing, know what my motto is this time? This ain't that. So you can't treat me like that because I'm not that person. Hold on. Dee Dee said, a man told me he needs a woman for all his characters. Ooh, he bipolar. He said each one of his women do different things for him. Some women deal with relationships that are very open. Oh no, I'm old school. I believe I'm all the woman he needs. Sis, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let Terrell and Ryan expound on that. Yeah, he got listen, you run as fast as you can because sweetie, if this man's saying that he has to have somebody for all of his needs, then he sounds like a narcissist because a narcissist is never satisfied with one individual. They have issues. They have deep embedded issues. And even if a woman said that's a big issue. What would you say about that, Ryan and Terrell?
Honestly, Ryan, before you go, give me 30 seconds, baby. 30 seconds. If I could, whoever that gentleman is, he's the type of individual that need a bunch of women that look for sponsors. Because I'm guarantee you, those women that look for sponsors will definitely satisfy I'm part of his whatever. I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying there's multiple women that has the same attitude that he has.
He got soul ties. No, when a person, and I'm being real, he done slept with plenty of people and he got soul ties and he need each one of those spirits that's dwelling up in him, because that's what that is. He needs that to be satisfied so he will be alone, because guess what? At the end of the day, you going to get old. And while you around here trying to get somebody to stroke your ego, and I'm saying it in that term, you need to be trying to get somebody that love you enough to wipe your behind when you can't wipe your own.
And check this out. I say this before I pass it to Ryan. On a positive, that gentleman he has not met the woman that was meant for him yet. I'll say that.
And he won't until he delivered, because that foolery right there. She talking about, oh yeah, I ran. That's some foolishness. That's foolery. That's my made-up word. That's foolery. Ain't nobody dealing with that foolishness. Shanye says, and whatever a man, hold on. Shanye says, and the woman that he deals with doesn't mind him dealing with others because they have men for all of their different needs. They got a bunch of hell flowing up in them. That's what
It's,
that's what's going on.
it's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new
And
day.
then guess what? But this is the thing. I'm gonna say this. He say, she say, but what do God say? If it ain't lining up with the order of God and the ordinance of God, they gonna be busting hell wide open because that is not ordained by God. God does not say about no people having these multiple partners and all of that stuff. I'm a one man woman. I don't want to be sharing and nobody. You seem happier than I'm happy. We gonna have some issues. It's gonna be a Louisville slugger and drag out. I ain't with that foolishness.
I
Didi
hear you.
said it's a new era. It's a new era, but that guess what? It ain't nothing new under the sun. That sound like Sodom and Gomorrah. And guess what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? Okay, go ahead, Ryan. What you had to say?
I mean, only thing I gotta say on that is good job, Didi. You saved
Yeah,
the man. Good job. That's the only thing I gotta say on that one. Yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say on that one. That brother.
yeah. That's some crazy. This is where it go. What are the boundaries? What is the boundaries when it comes to like relationships for y'all? What is your boundaries? Because you have to set boundaries, because if not, people will cross the line over and over and over. What's your boundaries and what's your deal breaker?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, respect. I mean, it got it. The respect has to just be there. I did want to kind of say this a little bit because sometimes women say they get in relationships saying they want certain things or whatever, but when they get it, it's not really what they want, and that can be confusing. Because you say this is what you want, I'm giving you exactly what you want, but that is so to me. Um, to add on to that, the respect, but also you got to be able to communicate well. If you don't know what you want, I'll much rather you tell me you don't know what you want versus you trying to tell me one thing. I check that box, and then all of a sudden that's not really that box that needs to be checked. You need to be able to communicate well. Not only that, but also just need to. I mean, I'm big on levels of vulnerability as well. If you don't know how to be vulnerable, you don't know how to really be open. I feel like at that point you're liable to lie. You're liable to do many other things because at this point you don't really know self, and you're not really even trying to get to know self. And if you don't know self, I will never know you. So those are my three
True.
major boundaries right there.
True. Terrell.
Man, I gotta say amen to everything Ryan just said. I'm guilty of, and I don't mind putting a little bit of my personal self out there. Um, I'm a person that try to keep confrontations down. So I've come to a place where you have to learn that somebody's feelings is going to get hurt in the midst of you trying to uphold positivity at all times. And sometimes vulnerable, as Ryan said, it allowed people to not necessarily leap over that boundary line, but even if they just put that one little toe over, they still crossing that line of boundaries. And that's the area that truthfully I have to get better at. But just learning, like you said, the accountability factor, the respect factor, the communication factor, the love factor, all those things kind of are just important ingredients to how to set boundaries and how to get expectations on what the boundaries are. So um, I, I'm still a work in progress in regards to that. It's like I have them, I know what they are, but sometimes you still allow people to step over 'em. People, not exes, not people in
People.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, people.
your
Because
homeboy.
relationships is not just with a man and a woman, it's even with friendships. And
Amen.
that's the big thing. And I think that's where the problem, and then we get irritated, we get aggravated, we get upset because we keep allowing people to cross those boundaries. I'm the type of person now, I used to be like that. I wouldn't say much. And now I'm like, listen, up front. People say what they want to say about Trump, and yes, he's a whole, but, and I know people gonna be like, she said that. Yes, I did. One thing the man didn't like, when he said he was going to do something, he did it, right? This is how I am. When I first meet you, I give what I expect. When I don't get that back, what I do is, if there's a problem and you don't cross, I express that. Now, what I'm not going to do is keep expressing the same thing over and over, because you hear me and that lets me know you really don't care. So then if you really don't care, I get silent. And when I get silent, guess what? Mentally, I'm already preparing to exit. And when I go to two fingers swinging, that's a done deal for me. And I don't backtrack, because I feel like once I've allowed you to take up my time, that's a precious gift. Time is very precious, and people take it for granted. If I give you my time, I'm not even talking about my money. I ain't talking about none of that. I'm talking about my time and my presence, because I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I know that I am a good woman. So when you take advantage of that and you let me know, then I already know that, hey, why am I wasting this time? So people say, you don't have, you will go just like, and I will, because I've done the longevity thing. And in the end, you go to kissing butt. That's what you do in the end. And then you get upset about it, but it's like you allowed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You allowed it.
100%.
So once you said it and you let it be known in the beginning and people cross it, then they already know, either they don't trust or believe that you mean what you say, or, hey, they don't respect it. So I'm like, let me go ahead and respect me more than you respecting me.
Hey, can I ask both of y'all a question before you get to the next segue?
Yeah.
So when you came into this segue, you mentioned about a particular individual, or not a particular, I'm sorry, an individual who said they don't trust anybody. And it's just a simple question. Is trust given or is it earned?
I feel like trust is earned. I feel like there's a degree of trust that is given, but then the depthness of trust is earned. It is earned. But now I'm gonna say this: some people are so deep embedded in pain that they try to punish other people for what was done to them in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is, you will damage the relationship that could be a blessing to your life. Because after a while, a person is going to keep leaping through loops and holes and doing cartwheels and backward flips and somersaults to prove loyalty to a person that don't trust it anyway. So why even do it? Why should I keep trying to prove my loyalty to you and respect you in that manner? And you ain't gonna believe nothing about me, no way. So why do it?
That's 100%. I mean, I think I want to say that it's earned, right? I want to say that it's earned, but I feel that a lot of times we give it. You know what I mean? We give it depending on who the person is. We give it based off of, we want this person, so we want to trust them, so we give it to them. We don't make them earn it. We don't hold them to certain standards that we will hold somebody else. So we are giving away this trust, and then we're upset based off of the repercussions of giving it away. Trust should always be earned. It should never be something to be taken lightly, because you're putting time into that trust at the end of the day. So, but like I said, I feel like in most cases we give it based off of who we feel that we want to be in our life.
Right. Dee Dee said earned. Shanye said respect, letting people know what I am and will not deal with, because all in all, you teach people how to treat you, not by what you keep telling them, but with actions. The actions of you staying after continued disrespect in all types of relationship in life. And that's the truth. My grandmother used to always say, if you find a fool and they keep letting you bump their head, keep knocking it against the wall. It ain't until they say ouch that you know that you're hurting them. Dee Dee
Yeah.
said, earn trust. Dee Dee said, I'm coming in loyal because I'm too old for games. A lot of us are too old for games, but the thing is, again, you have to put up those boundaries and say what you will deal with and what you won't deal with.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you let people know where you at, who you are, and you stick to your word. You know, back in the days we used to be like, my word is my bond.
Mm-hmm.
My word is my bond, and
Right.
I ain't going back on it. And that's what you have to, that's really what you have to, you know, set that boundary for.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask this. In relationships, how much are you willing to compromise?
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Oh boy.
How much compromising is too compromising, or what will you be willing to compromise?
I wish we
I'm
could
gonna
edit.
say that.
I wish we could edit that. I really wish.
I'm gonna let Fats go.
No, I want it. You did. Yeah, go ahead.
You know what? Well, boy. Um, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the magnitude. I don't know if you the amount of love you have for that person keeps you to keep compromising and compromising. Because essentially, when you compromise, you're kind of giving, right? You're kind of giving into that person's way, so to speak. Y'all can correct me if
Right.
I'm wrong.
Right.
Um, and it does get to a point where you're giving. We're not talking financials, right? Because it doesn't just, but you're giving, and it gets to a point
You get tired.
you just, hey, hold on now. I'll compromise, but you know the thing about that. Lord help me. I don't know why you brought this subject up. I'm gonna get in
Because
trouble.
this is what needs to be talked about when it comes to relationships. Like, I'm a giver, right? And you got some people that are naturally takers. And when you're a giver, it's just naturally in you, right? But after a
Yeah,
while, you be like, wait a minute now.
yeah,
I, I'm,
yeah.
I'm operating on insufficient funds because, and I ain't talking about financial.
All right,
I'm
right,
just
right, right.
talking about, I done rubbed your back and you ain't rubbing mine. Like,
Yeah,
wait
when
a
last
minute.
time,
Like,
when it came
yeah,
to
you, it's like, it comes a point in a time that you have to say, hold up, wait a
no,
minute, you know, hey, and like, enough is enough now. I don't
you know,
mind doing,
you know
and you
what's
can't expect me to treat you like royalty and you treat me like a peasant.
this honestly though, I love this question. It really boiled down to um communication. And the reason why I say that, I know it seems like it's far, like where communication come from out of
No, go ahead, because
it's
it's on here. It's on my list.
okay, because to your point and mine, you give. It's about how you deliver the hey, wait a minute, you know, let's take a very small situation. We spent last 3 holidays at your family's Thanksgiving. Why can't we go to mine now? You know,
Right,
it's a balance, and you do have to sometimes bring that person back. It's a term we use: bring them back to earth. Because when you give so much, they only know their way of, like you said, of.
right,
But when it's their time to give, they almost get unfamiliar with how to do it. So when you communicate with that person and you just kind of bring them back to earth a little bit, don't let it get too far away because when it's gone, it's gone. Um, but if you catch it in the midst of okay, hold on, it's starting to our balance is starting to go a little bit too far. It should work itself out. And if that person is understanding enough, they should level it. To be quite honest with
right. Ryan,
Compromise is a hard one. You say how much are we willing to compromise? I'm gonna say I'm willing to compromise if as long as I know that the person is understanding that I'm compromising, and I know that at the end of the day they're willing to reciprocate. Because a lot of times, like how you said, you know, you have some people. I'm a natural giver, but then if I'm giving and then I see that like how you said it. I'm
You don't appreciate.
yeah, I'm in the reds. At this point, you probably not gonna even hear from me. Like I said, I'm done at that point. Because I'm 9 times out of 10, I've warned you already. Like something's not right. I feel like I'm always willing to, do this for you, but when it comes down to me, I'm not getting that same energy. It's not being that same level of care, that same level of consideration is not being met. And if it's not being reciprocated, then at that point, I have to stop that. So it really depends on, like I said, if I'm feeling that it's being reciprocated, I'm willing to do it because I'm one of those people that believe in the you fill my cup, I fill yours.
Right.
Just always fill your cup, and your cup is overfilling. I
And
got
it ain't flowing in my cup.
Right, right.
I gotta stay fueled too.
Hey, sis,
Right.
30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds now. That's all I have. So check this out. You taught me the courting earlier, and you might know this. It's this new term going around. It's called receipts. So when you're accommodating, you have to keep receipts because you sometimes got to remind a person, like, hey, wait a minute, I purchased this was on my credit card. That was on my credit card. And that's the analogy of it. But they say nowadays you have to keep receipts because it's basically saying it's a reminder. Sometimes you just have to remind them, like, hey, wait a minute, we did this last time. Why can't we do it this way? Or we did it your way last time. Why can't we do it my way this time?
Where you keep your receipts at? You put them in a notepad, like.
Oh, that's my baby. Shout out to my baby. My big baby. You gotta keep them
Y'all
electronic.
crazy. Y'all crazy. I think it's more so like a mental receipt, and not to throw nothing back up in a person's face, because whatever you do it from the heart.
Right.
But it's just like you be like, hey, like when it's gonna be my turn for you to, like, because, and even like you said, it's not even about.
Oh, come on, sis. Come back to earth, baby. Come back. Come back
You
to
know what
earth.
I'm saying? It could be like that. It's like, and you find that a lot of times that you can touch a person. No, they can touch you, but you can't touch them if y'all arm's length.
Right.
And so it's like that's a bad situation as well, because again, a person will begin to start operating on emotional insufficient funds. And that's where it goes into the level of, let's say, value, romance, and being romantic.
Yep.
Do a person really value you? Because if a person really value you, to me, they won't take you for granted.
Nope.
What you say on that?
You're 100% right. If a person really care for you, they're gonna make sure that they're gonna do everything in their power to make sure that you don't feel devalued. They're gonna make sure that you feel valued at all times. If they care about what you're doing for them, they're gonna show. It don't matter what it is. It don't matter if they leaving out. Before they leave out to work, they writing you a note. They fixing your lunch. They doing the smallest. Like I say, them small things, they add up into big things.
Right.
And they stick to you. And again, a person will make you'll feel it. You'll feel it when somebody really values you, because it's deeper than just the words. Nobody just want to. I'm not gonna say who. I wanted to say who care about the words, but it's the words with backing them up with the actions.
The actions
really shows that value. Because if it's just words, I can tell you I love you every single day, but I do nothing that resembles that I love you.
Right.
That symbolizes that. But if I'm telling you I love you, and then at the same time I'm showing you that I'm thinking of you, I'm showing you, whether it be sending the message, making sure you got home safe, or making sure whatever. That's for the people that date and all that type of stuff. Like whatever it is, you're showing that I value you. I value the time we spend together. I value, you complimenting me or whatever it is. You're showing that. So it's all about them actions that add up with it.
Facts, Terrell.
I agree with that. At the end of the day, and it sounds cliche, but when you value a person, you actually understand. I don't want to compare it to children love, but you put that person before yourself. You know what I mean? And it's a natural reaction. It's an instinct. It's not something that's practiced. It's not something that's self-reminded.
Right.
It just goes. You know what I mean? So no, I definitely agree with Ryan on that one for sure.
So that means that person is a priority. That
Absolutely.
person, like, you're never too busy to let that person know that, hey, I'm thinking about you. What are you doing? Did you eat today? Hey, because one thing I used to hear this person, and they was from Mississippi, and they say, you can fry chicken with your mouth, that don't mean it's gonna get done. You could tell somebody something every single day, but at the end of the day, your actions speak louder than words, because no matter what you're doing, and remember, this is something that we was talking about the last time, that you will prepare. And when I said that, this is what I was talking about. You
Okay.
say, you how you really prepared? No, you make effort to say, I'm blocking out this time. This is me and your time. And nobody can disrupt that time, because I'm so busy, you so busy, but we're gonna set out time to make time for each other, because I want to make sure that you're good and you're secure. I said this to someone before. I'm not a how can I say a woman with low self-esteem or insecure woman, but do not make me insecure in a relationship. And people's like, how is it? Yeah, a person can be very strong-minded, very confident, but you can make, whether it's male or female, you can make them very insecure in a relationship because you put everything before them. They are not a priority.
Yep.
And so that becomes a problem, because now you took that safety net that they had, and men and women needed in a relationship.
Yep.
Yeah.
You took that safety from me, because now you don't have my back. You ain't got me. Like, I'm fighting for you, but you're not fighting for me.
Yep.
And that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
That becomes a problem. So let's talk about romance and being romantic. What is your ideal of romance? Because I just recently learned, again, like we were talking about, there's no age thing.
Right.
What is the level of romance to you? Like, if a woman did something for you, or you wanted to do something for your wife or your boo, your babe, what is the level of romance, and what's romantic to you?
To me, I'm gonna be very honest with you. It's not the what you do. It's romance is just the effort. If it's
Hmm.
genuine, if it's genuine thought that's put in behind, like you said earlier, if I put real effort into packing this picnic and making sure I get what I know Misha likes to sip on, or not saying that you drink, but she likes to drink this, she likes to eat this, and it's just a picnic. The effort was there for me to say, okay, you know what?
Right.
I went back to those receipts, and I remember when I first was trying, when we were dating, I went back and I said, oh, you know what? She did say she liked this. Oh, Grace was her. Oh, she liked this wine. You know what? Let me pack all of this in this basket. And now we out and we in the middle of the park or whatever the case may be with a blanket that might be your favorite color. It's the little details that should be the makeup of romance. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the advertisement of I love you and I'm gonna go propose to the world. That could be a factor of it, but some people get it misconstrued with the um the advertisement of it, the magnitude of it, how big it is versus how small it
Right.
is. And that's the one major downfall I think I wish more women would take heed to, I must say.
Yep. Yep. Nah,
Right.
I agree with you on that. It's the small details. Paying attention to. If I know that you like this, I know that this is something that's gonna make you feel special. This is something that's gonna make you feel loved. That I'm taking the time out, no matter what's going on. I'm taking the time out and I'm doing this for you. But I'm caring about the packaging. I'm caring about how it's delivered. If I'm writing it, I'm making sure my pen game is sharp. I'm making sure everything is on
Right.
point with what I'm doing, because I want to make sure that you understand that I value you. And
Right.
I cherish you, and I want you to feel that. And I will get the enjoyment just based off of seeing the look on your face whenever I do this. So whenever you're talking about that, that's that level of effort. If that person is not giving you that, then They're just doing it. They're doing that for something in return.
Right.
When you're
Right.
doing something where it's just genuine, you're doing it with the thought, no thought of them doing something, them giving you something back, except for you just seeing them actually feel appreciated.
Yeah,
And
that and
that is romance. Go ahead, Terrell.
I was just gonna say, and I think what Ryan and I were just doing was trying to give, or in my opinion, gave certain definitions of it. Like I can give examples of it, but your boy don't want to. But no, but sister, can you kind of elaborate from a woman's perspective what they may feel romance is, as far as
From
I hate to use the term giving it.
See, okay, so it goes both ways.
Right,
I
right.
agree wholeheartedly with y'all saying because I'm big on that. Like again, I had the rings, I had all of that stuff, but I didn't have the respect or the loyalty. I didn't have the commitment. I didn't have the communication. So you can have all these material things and they really not even know you because they getting stuff you don't even like. You like, I don't even eat that, or I don't, that is not my favorite color, but it's their favorite color. So paying attention, you bring home my favorite candy bar. You pay attention, even though I eat just the top of those Snickers, it don't matter. You know what, babe? I stopped by the store, I got some gas, and I brought you a Snickers. It's letting me know that, hey, he paid attention to me.
Yeah,
And in return, she will turn around and then she might do, or she should do, the romantic gesture, the picnic inside the living room. Y'all so busy you can't really go anywhere. Then what you do is do it at home, spontaneous stuff, not because it's Valentine's Day, not because it's Christmas, not because it's your birthday. No, every day should be Valentine's Day. Every day should be that love day.
right.
Every day, y'all shouldn't be to the point you get so comfortable and so familiar with people. People don't even understand you outgrow people. So with women, it's just a little, I'm going to say for me, because I can't speak for all women, but for me, it's that man that's taking out that time. He made a homemade card. Somebody might say that's so lame, but guess what? He wrote his feelings.
Mhm.
Listen,
He didn't get a Hallmark.
I'm so
Because
glad you said
Hallmark can say something similar to what you feeling, but for me to actually hear it coming from your heart, from your mouth, of how you see me, how you care about me, how you genuinely love me, you don't drew a picture, man, I'll frame that thing and tell it to the whole world. Why? Because
that.
you did it for me. You took out time for me. Even if you're not the most famous cook, it doesn't matter. You tried. You made me a grilled cheese sandwich. Guess what? I'm gonna eat that sandwich. Now, sometimes we got to go to Ruth Chris. Now, wait a minute now. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying, it's those little things. But then, even, and I'm going to say this on the woman's side, we like to receive, but guess what? We got to learn to give. Because guess what? Men have feelings. Men like to be romanced too.
yeah.
And
You're
I
not
know
wrong.
Father's Day is coming up, and ladies, just don't wait on Father's Day. And men do be pushed to the side. And I'm going to just be real. We as women, we got to learn sometime too that a lot of men have not been trained in the department of romance. I had to learn this. What you want, go get. I know y'all like, what you mean? If he is sitting on the side of the bed, don't get pissed off because you want a kiss from him and he putting on his shoes. Walk around on the side of the bed and give him a kiss. You got what you want. Now what you're doing is somewhat training him to say, hey, I like how that feels. So now let me do it to her. You feel me?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Because a lot of times they come up in dysfunctional families where it's not the key thing for a man to show his emotions or to be vulnerable. Because boy, straighten up. Don't be a punk. You know how you know how we was brought up.
yeah,
But in this level, when it takes that mature woman and you know what you got when you first got with him, because you could tell little signs that this man don't really know about no romance. Let me key him in. Now you got to make sure that you with the right person, because the right person take heed and take notes to it, and he won't say it's asking too much or you want too much. No, you will never ask the person that's meant for you too much.
yeah.
Never.
Facts.
I agree with that.
Facts. I
You
mean,
agree with that?
well said. Well said.
So, with all of that being said, we went over a few minutes, but that's fine. I was excited about this. I wanted to talk about this because I believe that people have taken romance. Most of all, people have taken God out of everything.
Oh yeah.
They truly have. The word of God said that people will become lovers of themselves, and that's exactly the life in the world we living in right now. Nobody seems like they genuinely love people. It's always, I'm out to get what I can. But there are some few that still have that genuine heart, that pure heart, the heart of gold, to want to see the best or get the best out of people. And those are the ones sometimes get hurt the most. But I'm here to tell somebody, do not allow your past pain to contaminate your future love. There is somebody that is out there made, designed, and created just for you. Now, let me clear this up. They are not perfect because you are not perfect, but they could be perfect just for you. So get out of the materialistic things, get out of the looks, because people get wrapped up in looks and my type. But I'm going to say this, I had bad taste. So get out of your type because your type could get you in trouble. Ryan, what would you say on that? Closing out.
um, as far as like, don't get into the types, or just the messages.
Just let's say all the way around your closing on as far as like with relationships, with marriage. What is your closing on that?
I'm gonna just say, I mean, with it, just remember that what you want to receive, also be willing to reciprocate it. If you find yourself, getting serious with somebody, and you are looking to, take on a relationship, as we said, we learned the new word, courting. If you are courting somebody,
Y'all making me feel old.
Yeah,
if
I
you're
thought it was
courting
something.
somebody, make sure that you are, that if you're taking it serious, know to be there for them, and don't waste your time. If you see somebody that is not actually looking to reciprocate the energy or give you what you are looking for, don't waste your time with it. Move on, because there's a lot of people out there, and there is somebody for, I believe it's somebody for everybody. So don't settle. Don't settle. That's my spiel.
Hey,
Terrell.
I, I'm right behind that where I am, man. Do not cheat yourself. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
don't cheat yourself. Identify what it is that you want. If it's not met, um, you can compromise a little, but if you understand that you're not, the balance isn't there, it's just not meant for you. And a lot of us get caught into, again, not wanting to hurt people's feelings and getting caught up in infatuation. Ladies and gentlemen, please, this is an outer shell that changes in the course of time as time go on. Do not get infatuated with the outside appearance. That is a way of cheating yourself. Please understand that. So be real with yourself. Uh, and again, just know what you want and know what you're willing to give, and everything should work itself out.
That's
And that being said, to my ladies out there, and I really wanted to do this to hear the man's point of view. But I'm going to say this to the ladies. Ladies, before I close out, I really want you to go and uncover spiritually. And I want you to look at the woman in the mirror and know your worth, and know that you are more than lips, tips, and fingertips. Because again, these men said it best. Things will begin to happen. Things will begin to change. I wasn't wearing glasses 10 years ago, but I'm wearing it now. Things that was standing up ain't standing up no more. So it looked like sometimes us women been in a battle. You get stretch marks and all kind of things happen. But you really have to truly be comfortable with who you are so that you're not willing to settle for less. Know your worth, and not just for women, men as well, because there are some good men out there. And there is some women that have taken on the role of what we used to say about men. And I've seen it. It sits in my chair. And I'm just saying, learn to respect each other wholeheartedly, be real and honest with each other wholeheartedly, and know that God is in the midst of everything. And if you put him in the center of everything, the outcome will be better. Thank you so much for tuning in to Love Me, Love Me Not. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for Terrell for being my guest. We might have to do a part 3 one day.
Hey, man, hey, hold on, man. Bring us back, baby. This ain't it. Bring us back.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. And until we see you again, be blessed. All right, guys.